Uh, Good morning, all of you. So we have made it to the day 2 of the workshop. So congratulations and welcome to the workshop. My name is Akshay Kumar Gautam. I'm the current leader at Hack Club PSC Mandya. I would be guiding you through what we are going to do today. So compared to yesterday, which was more focused on the theoretical parts, today we are going to perform the practical aspect of our workshop. We are going to create the project, and when I say we are going to create the project, we are actually going to create an exe file. So if you use Windows, you know that most of the apps which you install comes in exe version, right? .exe extension. So that is called an executable file. So we will create an executable file which will be written in C, yeah, basic C, not even C++, basic C. And I will try to make it attractive, kind of, projects need to be a bit attractive. So I will try to make it a bit attractive. So we really have limited time, only 45 minutes for it. And so let's see, we'll start. So as we start, I'll take you from the beginning, some basic techniques which you should generally follow while developing a software. Generally, when you execute code in, let's say, college labs or somewhere, what you do is you open Turbo C++, you write the code, you execute, and the result is just displayed there. But C is not like that. C is actually a compiled language. So when you actually write something in C, it should be converted into an exe file, an executable file, and then it should be run in the system. That's how it should generally work. So that's what we are going to do today. So without wasting more time, let's start. So I'll start sharing my screen. Let me know if you can see it clearly. If I need to zoom in or zoom out, stuff like that, let me know about it. And let's follow along. As I mentioned earlier, please try to use half of your screen as the Zoom window and other half of your screen to run the VS Code or command prompt, whatever we are going through. Okay. Generally, we'll be only working inside VS Code, nothing else. So keep VS Code in the other half. So yeah, let's get started.
Everyone, I'm Lachlan JC, and thank you all for coming. We'll probably have people kind of drop in and out throughout. I don't know.
Okay, so my command prompt window should be visible, right? Is it visible?
Yes, Gautam, it's visible.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, so you can see this is my command prompt window. So we'll start from here. So you don't have to do anything to bring up the command prompt. You have to do Windows plus R and then type in CMD and then press enter, and then you'll reach here. This is the point where everything starts. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll navigate to the desktop. To navigate in command prompt, you have to write CD. Okay, so let's write CD and then D, and then you can press tab. What pressing tab does is it will auto complete whatever command you're writing. So CD desktop will just get us to the command which we need to go to desktop. So enter, we are on the desktop. Now what we'll do is we'll make a new folder. It's always good to keep your projects in their separate folders. So we'll create a folder mkdir and then folder name. Let's say, what should I name it? Let's say try. I need to name it try. I really like this name because whenever I'm making a folder which I need to delete later or something like that, I always name it try. So it's up to me, or you can choose whichever name you want. So it's done. Okay, now what we can do is we can actually see the try is there or not. CD and then press tab. So deep learning is there. Okay. So we know that our folder name starts with T, right? So we'll press T and then autocomplete. So see, try is there. So we'll enter and then code space dot. What this command will do is it will start VS Code inside of this folder. Let's press enter and wait for VS Code to show up. Okay, so I think you can see my VS Code window now. This is where you will reach, right? Let's close this welcome tab. We don't need it every time. What we're doing is we're making a new project. So let's get done with it. So this here is my cursor, right? So you can see that in the try folder, there's an option to create a new file. I'll click on it, okay, and I'll name it because my project, because the project we are making is actually a calendar app. So calendar can have like two different spellings, so you can choose whichever you want. So calendar.c. Okay, so we named it and press enter to enter here. Now we have our file. Now all we need to do is write the code, right? So it's always general decency to comment your codes while you make something, because the time you're building it, you won't really want to write comments. But a great programmer once said that comments are needed to make humans understand what the code is doing. In the same way, code is needed to make the computer understand what the comment is for. So you should write code in a way so that if you read it after a year or so, like forget a year, after a month, like you should be able to understand what this code does. Because believe me, after a long time, if you start like going back to your, okay, after a long time, if you go back to your project or something and you read out the code, and then you will be lost, you will be completely lost, you won't know what this function is doing, you don't know what that function is doing. So it's always general decency to write comments. So let's say single line comments in C, but like we have time restraint, so we won't autocomplete. Okay, yeah, always. No, I'm not Michael K. Johnson. My name is Akshay. Okay, I generally don't write my middle name. Okay, let's see. So we have reached here. So we'll start with including the basic libraries, right? So I have, okay, yeah. So you can see I can get really good autocomplete options, right? That is because I have GitHub Copilot installed. See, I have GitHub Copilot. I'll deactivate it for now because it's kind of cheating when I'm doing it with GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot is really intelligent. It can automatically write all of the code if it wants to. If it wants, in the sense, if you allow it to. So, but it's not like that intelligent that it will understand your mind. You have to write comments every time, and it will read the comment, it will understand what is going on, and then it will autocomplete. So I'll deactivate it for now. Okay. So globally. Okay. Let's go back to writing code. Hash include h. Okay, I must ask, how many tabs can you see on your screen right now? Can you see a single VS Code like window, or can you also see the command prompt window?
So we can see only the Visual Studio Code window, Gautam.
Okay, okay, thank you, thank you. Let's see if the participants have the permission to unmute their mic. I think they won't have it by default. If they don't, please enable it. Okay, so yeah, so you can see all the three basic header files, right? Stadio.h, stadelib.h, but there is unique one, windows.h. Windows.h, what it does is it actually it is a support for Windows operating system. So generally when you are making an app, right, generally basic code you write in C, what you will do is you will use print statements with statements like slash and slash t for tab, slash n for next line, right, to format it in a like beautiful manner. But what we are going to do here, we are going to create a project. So what we are going to do is we are going to work with cursor positioning. So we will actually tell the cursor to which pixel to point. Okay, we'll give the cursor coordinates and the cursor will go there and it will start printing from there. That's why we are using windows.h. So let's move on. So we are making a calendar, right? So yesterday you have learned about this. I'm like pretty sure, right? Structure, data type, date. So inside structure, we need day, we need month, and we need year. Now, one thing, always remember to close the structure with semicolon here. Okay. And then we have created our own data type. So now we will declare this data type. So let's see. Okay, so we are done with this. So this date will actually store the dates which we are working with, because of course we are working with calendar, right? So we will need dates. Okay, let's go. Now what we'll do is okay, yeah, we are working with the cursor, right? So we need coordinates. So Windows.h header actually support a data type called coordinates, which supports coordinates. So that is used COORD. Okay, it became code. No, we don't want to go there. Okay, yeah, so this is the data type. Let's use XY because that is the standard notations for using coordinates. 0. So right now let's write the comment, right? Always use comments. Done. Okay, so every C program starts with its main function. So definitely we have to write our main function. So let's start with the main function directly. Let's start int main. Now yesterday I think you had heard that generally main function is void, right? Because it does not return anything, but it's always general decency to write even main function as int and then return 0, because during the compilation sometimes some compilers or some operating systems will require every function in C to return some kind of value, generally main function to return some kind of value. So we'll use int main to avoid any kind of errors which we might encounter, right? And then let's see. So what we need to do is we need to first of all name our app, right? Our app should have a name. So system, and then title, and you can name it anything. Let's I would like to name it the wizard. I'm never good with names, you know. So what this command actually does is system. So whenever you write something inside the system function, what it will do, it will take whatever is inside this double quotes and directly put it to the command prompt window. So you had seen before I was using command prompt, right? I was using the cd command to go to a folder. So same way, the command prompt has another command called title. So after title, whichever the word you are using, here wizard is the word I'm using. So this word will become the name of the command prompt window. Okay, so that's how we are naming our app. Also, system. Also, I had promised that I'll try to make it attractive, right? I'll try. I'm not good with it. So some color schemes, right? So you can actually go to command prompt, okay, and type these commands to see what kind of differences they make. Okay, if you want to see list of all available colors which you have, you can just always use color help. This will list out the available choices, and then we need to take input from user to understand what is going on. So choices, not really choice. Let's name it choice. And then to control the calendar, right? You need to flip the page, go to next year, go to previous year. So we would need something to store that option because we need control from user. So let's start it in. Okay, done. So yeah, what we are going to do is now we are going to run a loop which will run forever until you explicitly close it. The best way to do it is while true. So while true, you remember while is a loop which will run until the condition inside the bracket become false, but we have already written that it's true. So basically it will not become false, right? It will keep on running forever. Another way to do it is just write 1 instead of true. 1 is also basically true. So let's write 1. Okay, now this loop will keep on running forever. But okay, let's go on. For now, if you run this code, this loop will keep on running forever. The code won't stop, the execution won't stop. Okay, so we'll move on. Now we are inside the loop, basically inside the program. So we'll ensure that our color scheme is the same. Always ensure that our color scheme is same, right? Okay, and now let's assign an initial value to RCH, anything, whichever you like. You can assign any initial value. I'll go with A because ABCD starts with A. It's the first letter. And then what we are going to do is we are going to clear everything on the screen. So now we are basically inside our app, but we don't want any extra information which we have used before, like title, color, and stuff like that, to be displayed, to be like in the text format on the screen. So we'll use a clear screen. So CLS is the system command which you write in command prompt to clear the screen. Now, of course, user options, right? So, okay, first of all, make sure that you follow these things along with me. Other functions which we are going to provide you in terms of text files, so you can copy and paste it. But this main function, I'm not going to provide you. You have to write it to understand how it's actually working. It's not really a complex project. It's a simple one. Okay. So also this is made in a way that you can actually keep hacking it further. So after you're done with the basic steps, right, you can actually improve it in like add notes to it, add reminders and stuff like that. So make sure you follow along. Okay, so find out the day. First option we'll give is find out the day. Let's see. And then second option we'll give is so our calendars would have two basic functionalities. First, it will print all the days of a month. So when we enter a month and a year, the whole monthly calendar will be printed there. And the first option will be to print the day. So you enter a date, okay, a numerical date, let's say 1/2/2002, something like that, and it will print the day, whether it's Tuesday, whether it's Thursday, whatever. So let's provide the second choice. So print all the day of the month. right? So also remember that we have written like a loop which runs forever, but we need to close the app, right? What if I want to go out of the app? I don't want to destroy somebody's PC. So let's provide an option to exit, right? Okay. So press 3 for exit. Seems good. So we have already provided all the options. Now we'll tell the user to give us the choice, right? Enter your choice. Enter your choice. Okay. And now we need to take the input, of course. So %d, okay. And present choice. So by now, some of you might have guessed where this is going, right? We have declared a choice here, right? And then we have displayed some options to the user, and then we are taking input as choice. So you might have guessed that what's coming next, right? It's a switch statement, of course. So first of all, after the input, we should clear the screen, of course. Always remember to clear the screen. So clear the screen and then switch choice. Now we have a choice and we are using a switch statement with the choice. So case 1. What is the case 1? What do we need to do? Let's see. Okay, so what do we need to do? So find out the day. Okay, we need to find out the day. So let's give it a different color scheme first of all. Okay, we have used different color before. This time around we are going to use different color. It should be, let's say, which one 5F. Okay, and then we'll ask for the date, right? Enter the date. Now there are different formats which people might use to will specify. It should be DD, MM, YY, right? Okay. Code formatting, important aspect of, like, writing code is a. So we have instructed the user to give input. So now we'll of course take the input. Okay. So we are taking day, okay, and then we are taking month, and then we are taking year, right? So 3 integers, but where will we store it? We had declared a global data type date here, right? Here, okay, first of all, okay, we have declared a global data type date here, which has day, month, and year. We are going to use it because that's why we declared it in the first place. So, and date is our data type, but where will we store the first integer? Dot dd. So dd will have the first integer stored, and then second one will go to date dot mm, and the third will go to date dot yy. So year, right? So I think our input is all done now. After taking the input, the screen will be kind of, full with other different stuff. So again, system clear. We need to clear the system. Remember, we have to clear the system after most of the stuff we do, because whatever we are doing, this is a CLI application, command line interface application, right? So whatever we are doing, will stay on the screen until we clear it. So we have to clear it. Now we remember we had declared a choice variable here, which we have initialized with a. We need to do something with it. So okay, well, first of all, we have to declare we have the date. So we have to declare the day, right? So we'll focus on that first of all. So we have to print because that's how we'll, so print and then day is, what's the day? Now there can be different methods to this. What we can do is we can sit down with a calendar, and every time a user asks for a day, we can enter it manually. But that is not why we are making this app, right? So what we'll do is we'll call a function. Let's call it get day with date.dd, date.mm, date.yy as the arguments. So if you had paid a bit attention yesterday, you would know what is happening here. Here I'm calling a function which will return a string type. So the function should be char, right? Because it's string type. Because, okay, first of all, in C, we don't have something called a string. So we have to use char to return strings. So it will return a string. So the function should have to be char type. And this is the function name. And these are the arguments which we are passing it. So we'll provide these things to the function. We have these here, okay? And then the function will give us the day. Pretty clear, right? That is simple. Okay, so close it, of course. Don't forget the semicolons. Semicolons give one of the worst errors during programming. So okay, so now what we can do is after we have printed the date, we can just give a continue function, right? So print any key to continue. And then for this statement to work, press any key to continue. We have to use something called as, I think you'll be familiar with it. This function, right? It basically takes any one character before closing, before executing the next statement, and the next statement is a first break, because we have to go out of the case one. After break, it will go out of the switch statement again, go check for the choice, right? So we are done with our first choice. We have displayed the date and we are done with our first task. Now go to task 2. So okay, case 2. Case 2. So again, color scheme, right? Color scheme. So system and color, what should I use? Let's go with R9F. And then printf enter month and year. So what we need to do is we need to print the monthly calendar. So we'll ask the user for only two things, month and the year, right? Enter month and year. Okay. Of course, we should not forget to specify the format, UI. So say, did I use too many bytes? Yeah, I think 4 is enough. And space, and then scanf, of course, the same thing we are going to do. So %d, and date.mm, comma, and date.yy. So we have year and we have month, and that's basically it. So again, we'll remember to clear the screen, and then now we have to Okay, what we'll do is we'll actually include a while statement. All right, and then we'll check while the choice variable ch is not equal to q. So it should not be equal to q or e. What should I use? No, I'll use q. Okay, so while it is not equal to q, it can be anything else but not q. If it is q, we need to execute something else, but it is not q, so we'll go inside, and then we'll use a function to do something. We'll do is print month. Okay, print month, and then we'll provide the date.mm comma date.yy, but we have provided month and year to print the whole monthly calendar, but where will it print it? Right, it need a location. So remember that we have to pass coordinates. So these coordinates actually are calculated. You don't need to worry about how it's calculated. You can actually find coordinate calculators online, or you can just try different values. It totally depends on you, but you can use the one I'm using here. Okay, and then choice. So we need to take the choice, right? We need to assign choice. So what is happening here? Till now we have used the scanf statement to take input, right? But here we are using this. Now what this does is, when we use scanf statement, we have to enter whatever we want to, and then we press the enter key to feed it into the system. But what getch will do it, as soon as you click the key, it will be provided to ch. So as soon as you click q button, the action which was assigned to q will take place immediately. You don't have to press enter. So it should feel like a control, like while playing games you use to control your character with w, a, s and d, right? So you press w. Imagine if you have to press w and then enter every time to move your character forward. That would be kind of a disaster. So that's why we use getch, where we can just press the character and it will work. We don't have to press enter for it. Okay, so let's go on. And if, right, if now we have taken the character, so we'll compare it. What is it? So ch not equal to, no, we have done not equal to. It's better to just compare if it is equal to, right? If it is equal to n. So if it is q, if it is not q and anything else, remember we have initialized with a, right? So first time it is not q. First time we know it is not q. So it will print the date for the print the month for the first time, and then it will take user input and then it will compare it. So if it is n, let's go to the next month. Okay. So if it is n, what we'll do is we'll go to next month. So let's include a function for it. Name it count month. Okay, and count month, and then also every time we are taking a user input, we have to always clear the screen. I am actually tired of repeating this, so yeah, I'll stop now. And then after we have increased, okay, so this count month function will actually increase the month. Okay, it will increase the month value, but it won't do anything. But we have to still display it, right? So again, we'll use the same function we have used here, the print month. Okay, and we'll use it. So print month, and then if we are using, we have to pass the same arguments which we have done already. So date.mm comma date.yy comma 20 comma 5, right? So we are using the same coordinates. So when you press the n key, you will just see the dates change and nothing else. You won't even feel the transition. It would be seamless because we are creating an app, right? So it has to be seamless. And so we are basically done if it is n. What if the choice is not n, right? What if the user enter choice is not n? So else if, what if it is equal to previous one. So let's see P. What if it is previous? What we'll do? So we'll do is reduce month. We'll reduce the month. So count month will increase. I think should I name it increase month or okay, it is fine. It is fine. Doesn't matter, right? So reduce month will reduce it, and of course, always remember to clear. Okay, I'm repeating it again. I should stop. And then print it. So our friendly neighborhood print month function with the same argument. Okay, so case 2 starts from here, right? Case 2 starts from here, and so we know what we'll do if the user clicks Q. So while choice is not Q, so what we can do is we can tell the user that Q is for exit. So as soon as the user presses like Q button, and the condition becomes false, and the while loop won't execute at all. So we'll come out of it like naturally, right? So that's nice, but to come out we need a break statement, of course. Don't forget it. We don't want unlimited. So case 3, of course, we don't have to forget our exit, because of course we don't want it to run forever. So case 3, let's give it a good color scheme. Which should I use? So 0 is for black, so yeah, I'll use this 7. And to exit a C function, basically we use our exit statement, exit of 0, because we won't return anything, we'll just exit. Okay, and so while we are exiting, we don't need the break function, right? Because we are already exiting, so we don't need the break function. And we are done with this and this, and this is our main function. So always remember, we have declared main as end, so it's only decent to return 0. We don't want any errors. Okay, so we are done with so much of code. Okay, we have included our basic header files. Okay, we have created our data type date. We have declared our data type date. We have okay, we have used the coordinate data type from the windows.h header, and then we have written our main function. Okay, I hope that you have followed along. Remember that you will get certificates, and this certificate is not like, see, whenever you go for the target is actually a job, right? Finally everyone's target is a job, right? So when you go job hunting or something and you sit in an interview, and people won't really care about your certificates, but they will ask you that show me your projects, and then you take out this project, you're like, I have written a project which is 200 lines, and it is in C actually, and you understand it, you know the functions, you know, oh, I have used this concept, I have used pointers, and I have used switch statement, I have actually used you know, this system function to give a nice color scheme to it. Okay, it is simple, it is fast, but it is also usable. So then they'll be interested, they'll be like, okay, you have done something from scratch, and that is actually interesting to people. So actually, when I have already created this project already with even more features, and I shipped it on Hack Club Global. So on Hack Club Global, there are people from every country. Okay, there are like about 10,000 people, and let me tell you, they are all best in their class. Okay, so they are like really good people. To be honest, I'm nothing compared to how much they know and how much they do. So when I shipped this project and Hack Club Global, they were kind of impressed with it. Okay, they were like, yeah, this is one project which is kind of hard, because in this new era, right, people are more going towards Python and JavaScript, these languages which are easy to learn, easy to implement. You have libraries for almost anything, right? You just import a library, do something, and then you're done with it. But basics, right? Basics is from C, and C is still the most popular language in the industry. Okay, so yeah, let's see. So I think I hope all of you have created this, right? Like done with the main function. So we have used functions inside the main function, but we have not declared or like created the instances of this function, right? Anywhere at all. We don't know what these are. So let's start with it. So after coordinates, right? These have to be global. So we'll first to do anything, we have to set our cursor, right? We have to set our cursor to before printing anything. Remember, we used to pass coordinates, right? So set the cursor and we'll use the function. So it should be void because we are not actually returning anything, we're just setting the cursor to a point. So go to is a function, go to is a keyword in C already, we can't use it. So go to X, like why not, right? And then we'll give it two values, X and Y, right? And then so when we are working with a calendar, one of the most important things is to check for a leap year, right? We need to know if the entered year is a leap year or not. So check for a leap year. It has to return something, right? But like C is generally faster with numbers. We can return true or false or Boolean values, but it's always better to return int. So leap years, and then we'll pass the year only. We don't want to check month. We don't care about the month, right? We only care about the year. So we'll pass the year, and then we will need, okay, yeah, we have to increase month, right? So void, we have already named it. We named it count month, and then it should be end. We can always go for end, but remember, we are storing the month and year values, right? And we want to take the updated values. So instead of pass by value, we'll pass by reference, right? So whenever we pass by reference, we have to use address, and address in C is basically stored in pointers. So not basically, it is stored in pointers. We'll use pointers, right? So yeah, I'm not writing comments anymore because we have time restraints. You can take your time. Okay, after this is done, you can take your time, write comments, make it beautiful. Okay, save it, write it in your resume. Don't be afraid of writing this project in your resume. Show it to people. Okay, I can tell by experience that this project is actually one of the few you can be proud of. Okay, and tell them that you made it. Okay, and it's always better to implement some personalization, because if all of you have the same project with no changes at all, it would be kind of, you know, common thing and not good. So personalize it as much as you can without breaking it, of course. And then void reduce month. So, and as I have told before, I'll send these functions in the chat for you to copy, because we don't have a lot of time, and these are not really complex functions. These are basically a bunch of statements, some if statements, some switch case statements. So you will do good understanding this. Reduce month is done, and then we need to know number of days in a month, right? So based on leap year or not, we will need to know which month has how many days. So generally you can just take that this a month has 30 days, but we are making a calendar. It has to be accurate, right? Some months have 28 days, and in leap year they have 29 days, and then some months have 31 days, and then 30 days. So we need to exact. So we need to create a function which will let's say return int number of days, right? So number of days, it will return number of days based on, we have used two int. Can you guess what it what these two arguments can be, two ints. So we don't really want to know the date, right? We only want to know the month and the year to know how many days are there in the month. So we're using month and year. Let's see, what else do we need? Number of months is done. Okay, it's first of all, I must tell you, it's always better to write these things somewhere in a notepad folder or somewhere before starting. When I was actually making it, it took a lot of time. I wrote before I started coding, but right now, as I have already made it once, so it's easier for me. If you're making a project from scratch, especially in C, and I suggested please do it. Please do even a simple one, even a calculator, please do it using the same logic. You can use this logic to create a calculator app in C. Okay. And so when you're doing it, please try to write first some basic things which you'll need. Okay. And then proceed with it. So we are done with number of days. Now we need the name of the day, whether it's Tuesday, whether it's Wednesday. Okay. So based on the number, we'll provide this is the 7th day. What is the name of the day? So the function should return the name of the day. So remember, it has to return string. So char and then get name. Now where we have used get name, right? We'll go and look for some time. We don't really, okay, we have used get day, not really get name. Okay, get day. But get this, okay, no. Okay, yeah. So get name. And then we have to write get day. So we'll know how we use get name after we have written the next functions. So go on with void, and what we need to do now is we need to print the date. So print date, print date of int comma int. Okay, get name. I should keep track of get name. And then what print date will do is print name of the month and year. So yeah, and then get day number. Okay, and then okay, yeah. So we have reached here. So let's see. Here we are using the get day function, right? With date, month, and year. So we'll come here. We'll see get day. Okay, give me the day. To get the day, the function has to know the day, and to has to know the date, we have to get name, right? And then get name needs a number. It needs a number of the date. So it is the 7th day, it is the 1st day. Which day is it? To get the number, it will ask get day number. So get day number will take date, okay, month and year, and return then which date it is. So is it the 7th day of the month? Is it the 23rd day of the month? That is what it will return. Okay. So we are done with this much, right? Get day. So now moving on, we need to print the month, right? So void print month. Oh, I think we have declared the M capital. And print month should have how many arguments? I think 4 arguments, right? Month, year, x coordinate, and y coordinate. Okay, print month is done. And then what else do we need? So print month we are done, and then reduce, and then I think we are done with all of the functions which we would actually need, right? So we have okay, we have declared the functions, but we need to define them. So why did I declare it before if I didn't need to define it? You can define all the functions here, right? But the code will become really confusing to write if you are making something. You start, okay, and then you go to the main function. You see here, you need, okay, what do I need? I need get day. First, this is the first function which you'll need. Before it, we don't really need any function. Get day. We'll go back. Where is get day? Here is get day, and then you will go below. And it's always good to define the functions in the order they have been declared. So we have declared go to xy first. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll define the function in the same order. Okay. These functions are actually not really complex or anything, but due to time, I'll just copy paste. Also, don't be afraid of copy paste during software development because it's a general tactic. It's efficient, right? The logic is what matters. You don't really care about if you're copying the print statement or not. But during the start, it's always better to write more and copy paste less. And as you progress, you'll know why. Okay. But let's see. So go to XY is done. And then next is leap year. So leap year. And after leap year, we need count month, which actually counts the, right, increases the month number. So increase the month number using count month. And then we need decrease, right? So reduce, yeah. So reduce month. And then we will need number of days. I think number, okay, yeah, let's go see what happens. And then get name function. So I think yesterday you guys had written the get name function already. So I think you probably have it saved somewhere, right? Please use it if you have saved it somewhere. And don't worry, I'll just go through what these functions are for. Generally, they're not really complex. Once you start reading it, this will be overwhelming when you start. You'll be like, oh, these are so big functions. These are so overwhelming functions. But once you start reading, you'll just know, see, this is just a switch statement with month. And then month, if the month is 1, print January. If it is 2, print February. If it is 3, print March. That's like basic stuff, right? Nothing too complex. So yeah. And then get day number. So get day number is kind of a bit complex function because we need to know, okay, we need to know which day, what is the day number based on the day, month, and year. So it is a bit complex function. You have to know we are actually using the logic of the week here. Okay, so if it is third day, so Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Tuesday is the third day, right? So it's like that. So we have to return which weekday it is. Okay, like that. So if it is the 7th one, it will print Saturday. If it is the first one, it will print Sunday. That's how it has to work. That's why it's a little bit complex, but every other function is like easy, really easy. And then, of course, our friendly neighborhood print month function. Print month function has to be here. And print month function also has to come with instructions for the user to use the calendar because, okay, let's go the errors one by one. What is the error? Okay. And here, do we actually have an error? No. Previously there was one, but now there isn't. Okay, so let's go. So go to XY. Okay, so I'll provide you functions up to up to here in your chat to everyone in the meeting. You can copy it from the chat. Okay. I think you can't send such long chats. Okay, let's try to send it. If it works. So apparently we can't share longer things. Okay, see it. Also, don't worry about it. These files will be available in the WhatsApp group as well, and you can further, clear your doubts in the group. After that, when everything is completed, we'll dismantle the group. Till then, it will remain, and you'll get certificates after you submit this completed app in the form. You will get the form today. Okay, you have to submit the completed app in the form, and the app will be in .exe format. How you will get it? Okay, I will tell you now, but this get tame function you were made to write yesterday, so I won't send it. You probably have it. And let's see. Okay, no, let's keep it continue, right? And there might be some errors, some basic errors, okay? Because whenever you type something, it's not that you will be perfect, right? Same case with me, even I'm not perfect. So when I was typing, I might have made mistakes like capital letters and small letters, okay, and mistakes like forgetting semicolon, forgetting and using comma instead of a dot, okay. So you have to uh, figure out, debug the code. That's what we call in technical terms, debug the code yourself in order to understand what's actually wrong with it, okay. And make sure that your program is a successful compilation. After it's successful, you will get the .exe file. Okay, so this print month function will be too large to be sent in the chat. Okay, so the last function is sent in 3 different chunks, and you should know how to join it, because you are really creating an app, so that is at least the least I can expect from you, right? So let's see. Okay, so once we are done with it, okay, once we are done with all of this, so now we need to convert it into .exe, right? How do we do it? How do we convert it into .exe? Okay, so to convert it .exe, we have to execute it. Okay, and to execute it in VS Code, after you have done everything correct, right? You have installed all the extensions and everything, right? What you have to do is you have to press Control F5. Control F5 actually stands for run without debugging. But if you have not debugged your code before, it will automatically debug it for you. So we don't have to worry about. So I'll press Control F5 right now. Let's see. So it asked me for two things: C++, GDB, and LLDB, and C++ for Windows. So I'll select the first option. Okay, GDB, LLDB. Enter. It's asking gcc.exe build and debug. So we need an exe file, right? So it's asking, do you want to use the gcc.exe file? So I'll tell yes. Now, for the first time when you do it, you'll actually, yeah, I'll wait for it. I'll wait for it to pop up. Yeah, see, launch.json. So JSON files actually contain the settings. When you do it for the first time, you'll get this file. You don't have to worry or change anything in here. Just go back to your calendar.c. Okay, and here in the debug console you can see that the loop is running, our infinite loop is running, so we know that something is, at least something is working, right? So here, okay, here is my cursor, here click on the files. Now you can see a calendar.exe here, right? You are able to see calendar.exe here. So let's see if it's actually working. So first of all, I'll terminate the loop. See, the debugging is going on, right? I have to terminate this. To terminate, click here and it will be terminated. It's done. So we have a calendar.exe already, but it's where it's in our folder. Don't double click here because it won't run. It is .exe file. So one of the best things which I like to do is use command prompt. You should always use command prompt as a developer. It's always better. So let's go. You have to use Windows plus R and then CMD. I know you can't say it, but it's fine. Now I have to switch. So let's see this or this. Okay, I'll share. Okay, yeah. So, okay, I think probably now you can see my screen, right? So this is the command prompt. As I told you earlier, you can just come here with, so first of all, some basic explanation. So remember I use system a lot, right? So let's try it here. So you can see that the background is kind of light blue. It's called aqua color, and the text is black, right? So let's try to change it. So I'll use the color, and then for aqua, we need to keep the background aqua. So I love aqua color. Okay, I love colors like teal, aqua. So let's go with it. And 3. So 3 is basically for aqua. And then I need the text to go from black to white. For white, it's F and enter. See how the text changed. And let's see title. Title CMD. See, it changed to CMD. So that's how it works. CLS, of course, right? So now, right now, why we are here to see if our program is working or not, right? So we need to do what? We need to actually go to the desktop. So CD, okay, D and tab, desktop, and then CD, and our file name was try, right? So T, tab, try, and then we can just press tab to see whatever is there inside try. So .vs code. So it is a VS Code file. We don't need to concern ourselves with it. Calendar.c. This is the C file. Okay. We edited this in the VS Code, but we don't really need it right now. What we need is .exe. So here we go. This is our file, and then we are inside the app. How do you know it? Look at the name. I changed the name to Calendar Wizard. Okay. So the name is Calendar Wizard. Okay. And the first option is find out the day, and second is print all the day of the month, and third is exit. Enter your choice. It's asking for your choice. So let's see, I want to find out the day. Enter. And then it's asking me to enter the date. In date, so let's say 12 10 2002. Let's try this. And day Saturday. See, it works. Day Saturday, and press any key to continue. I'll continue and we'll come back. Now you realize that the color changed, right? The color was changing. That's why we were using, system color everywhere and system CLS everywhere. If we won't do it, whatever we have done earlier will remain on the screen, and the new content will be kind of, garbage. So let's try the second one. Print all the day of the month, 2, and then enter month and year. So let's try any month, let's say 2, and year will be, I don't know, let's say 1999, right? Let's go. And then here you have the calendar. Okay. February 1999. Okay. And you have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, everything is there. Press N to next. Let's try to press N. Remember, we had used get ch for N. So when we press N, we don't need to press enter. See, it's immediately changing. It's changed to March again. See, it's changed to April again. It's changed to May. Now try P. P for previous, right? April, March, Feb, Jan, right? It's changing. And Q to quit. Okay, let's press Q. And we are back at our title screen. Now, the third and most important feature that we need to exit, right? We don't want it to run forever. So let's try 3 and enter. We are out of it. So this is basically a success, right? I'll provide most of the code for you to try to figure out if you encounter errors. Generally, the errors will be, mistyped names, capital and small names and stuff like that. So try to debug it. You don't need to hurry it. You can take your time, okay, and obtain this successful .exe file and fill it in the form. The form will remain open for a long time, even for a week or so, okay. Fill the form and you'll receive your certificates, okay, certificates of achievement, not participation, okay. It will mean that you have achieved something on your own, and that's it, I think. So thank you for being a part. I'll stop sharing the screen, and I'm here if you have any doubts right now. And yeah, that's all for today. Thank you for being part of the meeting. And wait, because if you want okay, yeah, if you want the certificates, you have to fill the form, right? I'll send you the link right now. Take the link, save it somewhere, okay, save it somewhere, and whenever you complete the project, take the .exe file and you have to upload the .exe file. The .exe file is not really too big, it's like small exe file, so you can upload it, don't worry about it. And upload it. As soon as you upload it, you will receive your certificate on your mail ID. Okay, so I'll send the link now. Okay, there are a few doubts. We didn't get the first part of the last function. Okay, wait for it first. I should provide you the link. This is your Google Forms link for the certificate. So make sure you fill it, and first of all, save it somewhere. Okay, keep it somewhere safe. After you are done, no matter when, fill it and you'll receive your certificates. I think it won't take more than a week, so I'll keep the form open for the next week. Okay, and don't think that we are not interested. We are actually really interested. So after you make everything, we'll check the .exe files. Okay, we'll check it in our virtual machine, so I can run it in our virtual machine, so I don't have any risk or anything like that. And I'll check every .exe file. Okay, and I'll see if you have actually personalized something. If you have personalized something, it's better. If you have done something, if you have further hacked it, if you have further added features or something. So one of the doubts is we didn't get the first part of the last function. So I'll share the screen again. First part of the last function. Print the month till all days. So you didn't get the first part. I should check the chats. Okay, let's see. The betterment of the society. So I've sent all the functions, okay, all of the functions in your WhatsApp group as well. So, but not the main function, of course, because I asked you to write it with me, and I hope you have done so. Okay, and yeah, that's about it. More doubts, please let me know. It's not like right now is the only time you can ask doubts. You can ask doubts even like on WhatsApp. If you have smaller doubts, please, you can ask in the group. Don't be ashamed of asking doubts in the group. If you can't, you can DM the people I have specified before. Okay, and make sure you have written the main function. Okay, so let's conclude it. I think everything is done. Let's conclude everything. So it's always better to talk face to face. So Hack Club was actually established pretty recently, and due to the corona thing and lockdown and everything, we didn't really get much time in our college, but we're trying to bring a change. And internally, we are more active internally. You will see less events announced by us for everybody, but for club members, we do, we are in contact. We're like friends. We work together. We try to tackle everybody's problems. We try to learn general technical stuff, like I showed you how we can use command prompt, right? These are the stuff which we generally learn. Also, we learn how to use GitHub and stuff. I didn't really showcase GitHub in this workshop because we didn't have time. Okay, and we might actually conduct a workshop on GitHub later on, where we'll see how automatically we write code and how automatically it is saved on the cloud. and how you can maintain versions. So version 1 of your app, version 2, you added some features, and then but the code broke, the code is not working anymore, you need to go back, so you'll get right. So all of these stuff. Internally we are more active, we discuss more stuff, and we learn more. Also we are on the international Slack. Slack is an app, social media app, if you want to know, where we meet all the different people from other countries, or students basically. All of we make and share stuff, we share interesting stuff. It's not always programming, it can be photography and music and movie interests, we share those kind of stuff also. So it's basically a group of friends with similar interests, but our main focus is always about learning. Some of us are more into robotics, some of us are more into hardware, some of us are more into software, some of us are into machine learning and stuff like that. So we are planning to actually recruit people from first and second year as well as third year. I must include, and we are planning to be more active to everybody in the college from this semester. So let's see how things go. Okay, and